Where do you think the lead price is going to go at the end of this year and into next year? Do you think it's going to go up a lot, or do you think it's going to kind of stay the same? And how should companies absorb that cost? Should they just raise their prices?
Well, yeah, that's the one way, but you have to have a price that's commensurate to the value. So just remember that. And I don't want to shirk you from changing your prices. I will tell you that most people don't analyze their lead costs well enough. So
Okay.
if the lead cost goes up, if you're working with a lead aggregator, the price is different than if you're buying television commercials. But you have to separate those costs. And everybody in the business, I don't care if you're a small company or big company, should have a CRM. Now, you're familiar, Greg, with a CRM, are you not?
Of course.
It's something which takes in every lead and does it. It's software. Great people. They're one of our sponsors. And I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing it for you. You have to know where these leads came from. Then you have to see the people in your organization who handle leads better than another. So it's not uncommon. We have organizations where we go in, and let's say they're in the window business, and the salespeople are good, but those salespeople sell $900,000 worth of windows a year, maybe $1 million, and it all sounds great. Now tell me, what did it cost you to keep the salespeople in there to do that? So we have clients who, when they hire salespeople, have to tell them, this is the number of leads you get, and for the number of leads you get, this is what we expect you to do. And some of the people we represent, you can't work there if you don't bring in $1.5 million to $2 million a year. Because the top guys in those organizations, men or women, bring in $3 million or $4 million. Not uncommon. So just raising the prices, though, Greg, is a little bit scary. Because
It is.
again, you're going to turn this over to a salesperson who has to show these people in their home what the value is of the product. And one other thing, here's where it's complex. You go out and you buy a table, a chair, buy an automobile, a suit of clothes, hat, whatever that might be. All these things you see in a finished state. We don't see ours in a finished state. If you're selling most home improvement products, you're converting what they have to what they would like to do to upgrade. Or you're putting something in or attached to their home that is adjunct to what is already there, and then you change the architecture for whatever instance. Now, when you say all of that, what you have to do as a sales-oriented company is teach your people a structured presentation. And you can use support material like your computer for graphics or whatnot. But you have to teach your people how to give powerful, powerful presentations. I narrowed down to this. If you want to sell a $10,000 job, learn how to give a $12,000 presentation. Mm-hmm. Now, that isn't saying charge them 12. That's not what I'm saying. If you want to sell a quality product at a price which enables you to make a profit, you have to give a better presentation, because everyone who's going in that house now is going to tell those people something about why theirs is better.
Yeah.
Why is it? So that's what
it's great that you brought that up, because when I had when I was in the window business in the day-to-day, I would tell my people that you need to sell every job like it's double the price. So if you have a $30,000 job, you in your mind, as you go through that presentation, pretend it's $60,000, and that you believe that the value that we provide is even worth that $60,000, which is double. You don't close it at that, but that's how you approach the meeting. That's how you approach the rapport. It's how you approach the solution and what the new windows and doors are going to be able to do for them. Provide double the value in order to close them at the right price that allows you to have sustainable business in the future. Meaning you're going to get, good quality referrals out of it. People aren't going to feel like you took advantage of them. but yet you also made a good enough profit that you can continue to do the things that you want to do as far as expand your business and be profitable. So my question, speaking of profitability, my next one to you, Dave, what should these guys and gals out there that are leading these companies that, they're making money right now? Maybe there's a little dip in business, here and there, but anyone that's been in business for any amount of time has been through that. Do you think that people should be investing hard in marketing right now, or should they be kind of holding their cash and being a little bit more reserved as we approach the election and the months following?
Now, Greg, you've been a very nice host so far, but the question you just asked me is really 5 or 6 questions.
I understand. Take it any direction you want, Dave.
All right. Well, first of all, you have to assess profitability, and we find out most prices are structured inadequately. I don't mean you should be higher or lower. I mean, you cannot define for me based on accounting principles. If you go and set up your business, a good attorney, a good accountant will say, look, set up an LLC, a limited liability company trading as a corporation, or set up an S corporation. Stay away from C corporations. But now, if you say that and you say, well, that's good advice, what's next? Well, do cash accounting, because it's the easiest, it's the simplest way to do it. And I'm going to, in my answer here, I'm going to show you 4 reasons why that may not be the truth. Now, first of all, you have to start out with a formula for pricing, because people go in the house and they make all sorts of commitments to do extras and whatnot. Here was the price, and you start to commit to other things. And the salesperson selling it thinks that even though he committed those things, he should get the same commission. And going back to compensation systems, then where you say to somebody, okay, here's how you're going to get paid. We take the cost of the job and apply it by the cost of doing the job, and whatever that margin is, we'll give you a percentage of that. Now, don't ask your salespeople to think. Don't ask them to think that way.
No.
Don't ask them to be arithmetic geniuses. Instead, give them a price list. And it isn't problematical to do. It's done with a formula. So now, once you establish the formula, you also establish a budget for marketing. Now, it's not uncommon today that people they pay 10% commission and they have 18% marketing costs. That wasn't the way it was years ago, but because they have good margins and they want to reach a broader market, they do a lot of things which say, well, if the job comes out right and we sell it right, we got enough money to do this again. That's not the way it works either. So what has to happen? You have to take a look at every one of the marketing programs you have and do an analytic on it. And that's why you have a CRM. It can show you this. And I'm not saying it does the job for you. It helps you do the job you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Now you find out every one of these things. So I bought lead aggregation. Let's say there's some great companies out there. Some of them are our sponsors. And so you get that through a lead aggregator. But know in advance that many cases, that same lead is sold to 3 or 4 other people. Some complexities in that. Some relate to the legislation I talked about earlier. And some relate to the fact that you may go in the highest, the lowest, the middle, or whatever it is, based on your competition for that same lead. Now, other leads are what we call nebulous leads. We can give you this or we can do that. Take as an example, when a job is completed, we have peripheral marketing to talk to the people around that job, to talk to the people in that neighborhood through direct mail. We can do it that way. Now, all these leads have a cost. Now you assess the cost based on how many of these can I convert to the appointments and how many of these can we get in the home. And getting in and out of the home may not be a sales issue, a marketing issue as much as a sales issue. But when you determine that, you don't need to cut back. You need to operate more efficiently. and know what each lead source. Now, if you're doing $1.5 million, you're not going to run into this complex. The minute you start to do 3, 5, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, $20 million, you've got to break. You're in big boy pants now. You better be having big boy actions so that you spend. Yes, we are getting fewer leads, and I'm going to say we do anywhere from 20 to 30 reviews every year, research what people are paying for leads and all the sources now. And that's one of the things we discuss at this program. So some companies just handle the lead better than others. Some salespeople handle the lead better than others. And some people have a product that is more appealing than the other because the salesperson presented it that way.